Hegseth was railing on about was military standards and making sure that all standards are male standards.
Yes, whatever that means.
Whatever that means exactly. And what is an 18-year-old expected to have the same standards as a 45-year-old who's still serving? Yeah, none of that
it's
makes
all
sense.
Totally muddled.
But
and he says, well, but I'm not really, denigrating the role of women in the military. Of course you are.
Of course he is, yeah.
This is the same guy who posted and praised a video by this far-right white nationalist, white Christian nationalist pastor who advocated ending the voting rights for women. He said vote should be by household and should be cast by the male head of household. And this is a video that Hegseth posted and praised. And you're going to have us believe that he really believes in equality for women?
And the interesting thing is, as of 2023, there was 225,000 women in U.S. active duty military. So it seems like if he wants the best force in the world, a lot of that is including women just for the sake of numbers, right? So if he's going to eliminate hundreds of thousands of personnel from our military, wouldn't that weaken our military?
This is the big lie also about diversity, equity, inclusion, affirmative action. The big lie is this is designed to let unqualified people into business or schools or the military. Charlie Kirk was constantly harping on this. Oh, if I see a black pilot, I've got to worry about it. The opposite is true. The whole purpose of affirmative action and DEI is to open the door to opportunity for qualified people who were shut out previously because of their race or their gender. So the whole purpose of DEI or affirmative action, once again, is exactly the opposite of what they claim it to be. And by the way, for all these claims, what evidence are they presenting?
None.
Zero. Absolutely none.
Most people who I've heard talk about this who are in the military say that all the women they served with were essential, great soldiers, et cetera, et cetera.
There's not a study I know of which says, opening doors to the military or to minorities has weakened our military. And by the way, if you believe that the mission of the military is actually a little bit bigger than just breaking things and killing people, that they occupy countries, right? They want cooperation from civilians, right, to help protect them from terrorists. They want sources of information. So they've got to be something more than just renegade killers. The mission is not just limited to that.
And, this idea of this warrior killing machine, I would argue that way of sort of structure around our military has made America less safe. I mean, if you think about the brutality that the U.S. military has done to many countries around the world, that has come back to bite us in the ass. If you talk about 9/11.
There's a whole book on this called Blowback.
Right, terrorism, extremism, and
Yes.
you could draw a direct line to brutal militarization in the U.S. to the, you know what I mean? So this
Absolutely.
idea that this killing machine army makes us safer is, I actually think, the opposite of reality.
Yeah, and as I said, you need to have good relations with civilians abroad. Are you just going to become an occupying terrorist army like the Nazis were, during World War II in most of Europe?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. You need to establish good relations with people of other countries, and not to mention our own people.
Right.
That's an essential part of keeping us safe and keeping the military safe.
Yeah.
Can you pass me my drink?
Really quickly, thank you to Guy for your gifted memberships, and thank you to Krasimir for your gifted memberships. I just wanted to make sure I got those in.
Good.
Before we moved on.
We appreciate that.
You want your drink?
I want my drink, and then we'll go to the next topic.
Okay, 1 second.
I'm a little handicapped in what I can reach.
You are?
Just a little.
I had no idea.
Hard to tell.
I've been taking care of this guy every day, all day.
He's been doing a great job. Couldn't make it without him.
All right. Are you ready for our next topic, Dad? Anything else you want to say about? I mean, I want to say this. Actually, I have one more thing to say. Donald Trump is the most divisive figure in America today.
Maybe in America since the Civil War.
I don't understand why people continue to support this man who is the most divisive figure. I mean, yeah, maybe you can find fringe people who say crazier things, but he is the most powerful man in the country, the most powerful man in the world, arguably. And the rhetoric he uses, the things he says, the things he does is horrific. I mean, I just can't wrap my mind around how people can't see how damaging Trump is to this country, how divisive he is, how much hate and fear he spreads.
Absolutely.
It's terrifying.
And here's, the other fallacy of this, both sides. They'll compare Donald Trump and they'll find some fringe figure in the Democratic Party.
Right.
Who has no influence, no power, no nothing. No one's ever heard of them.
Right.
And they'll equate that with what the most powerful person in the world is saying and doing.
Right. There's no doubt in my mind at this point, especially after today, that he is the most divisive figure in this country, period. Nobody even comes close. Again, maybe you can find people out there or Twitter trolls
fringe, but
who say crazy stuff.
Someone who has some power. And
right. If you take into account how much power he has and his rhetoric, he's by far, it's not even close.
It's not close.
There's no, the right can sit here and, again, name all these false equivalencies. It is not true. He is the most divisive figure in the United States.
By a huge margin. Thanks for watching our video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and become a member today.